Good morning, this is your captain speaking. We have just entered the Earth's atmosphere. For those of you sitting on the starboard side, you can see the Earth out of your portholes. As we are descending out of the Earth orbit, we shall first fly over the Pacific Ocean. Our Rolls-Royce Ramjet engines are taking us on a course over the Indian Ocean to the dried-up Ganges Delta at the mouth of the Bay of Bengal. As we speak, you can see the by now dried-up riverbed of the once mighty Ganges River as we follow it to the city of Benares before landing at the spaceport in New Delhi.
Around 5000 BC, the Aryans, a nomadic tribe from the steppes of Central Asia, entered India through the Punjab and brought with them the Hindu religion based on the 4 great texts called the Vedas. For the Aryans, their most sacred river was the Saraswati, which has now become extinct. However, by the end of the 2nd millennium, as the Aryans spread over the entire Indo-Gangetic plain, the Ganga, or Ganges, replaced the Saraswati as the most sacred river.
गंगा जी का हिमालय पर्वत से गोमुख से जो उद्गम हुआ है और गंगा सागर में जाके गंगा जी मिली हुई हैं, भौतिक दृष्टि से देखा जाए और आध्यात्मिक दृष्टि से, दोनों दृष्टि से हर व्यक्ति गंगा के प्रति पूर्णतः आस्थावान है और इस गंगा के जल से करोड़ों लोग जो हैं अपने जीविकोपार्जन करते हैं।
ऐसा कौन रिवर बेसिन है, ऐसा कौन रिवर है संसार में, हम तो नहीं जानते, जिसमें इतने लोगों के जीवन से वो जुड़ी नदी है। और गंगा जी सबसे लंबी नदी नहीं है, गंगा जी सबसे भयंकर डिस्चार्ज वाली नदी नहीं है, लेकिन गंगा जी का ये है कि वो हमारे भारत के 40-45% आबादी को आज भी फ्रेश वाटर दे रही हैं। हम इनको माँ मानते हैं, हम इनका जल पीना चाहते हैं, हम इनके जल से पूजा करना चाहते हैं।
गंगा मैया तेरी जय हो गंगा मैया। तेरी शरण में माँ जो जाता भव सागर तर जाता, ओ मैया भव सागर तर जाता। तेरी जय हो गंगा मैया, ओ तेरी जय हो गंगा मैया। सागम पद 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 नि ध प म ग रे ग म प ग म ध नि सा नि ध प म प ग म रे।
The banks along the entire course of this 2,500-kilometer long river are dotted with shrines, temples and pilgrimage sites, where the unceasing earthly drama of life and death called samsara is played out day after day. Thousands of worshippers immerse themselves in the river to bathe, and this act gives them a vision of transcendence and liberation called moksha.
गंगा जी के दर्शन से, गंगा जी को स्पर्श करने से, गंगा जी में अपना शरीर डुबाने से, स्नान करने से और गंगा जी के जल के पान से हमारे सारे पाप धुल जाते हैं।
The traditional etymology of the word Ganga is from the Sanskrit root gam, to go. The Ganges is the swift goer, and her hymns constantly emphasize the running and flowing energetic movement of her waters, which are life-giving. So great is the power of the Ganges to destroy sins that it's said in ancient texts like the Puranas that even a droplet of Ganges water carried one's way by the breeze will erase the sins of many lifetimes in an instant.
गंगा मैया।
Sensing this power of the river, pilgrims from all over the country come to the Ganga each year. While most of them return home after a visit to the Ganga temple and the ghats, some of them decide to make it their home.
हमारे बगल में अमृत रखा हो तो अमृत में आके स्नान करें और कुएं के जल में क्यों करें? अमृत है कि नहीं? यहाँ आपके हमको सब कुछ माई देती हैं। जो हम सोचते हैं यम यम चिंतयते कामम तम तम प्राप्नोति निश्चयम, सभी वस्तुओं कामनाओं को सिद्ध कर देती है माता। तो यहाँ ऐसा करने से, नित्य करने से, घर्षण करने से जैसे रस्सी काट देते, ऐसे माँ के शरण में आने से सब कुछ की प्राप्ति होती है, ऐसा हमारा पूर्ण विश्वास है और हम ऐसे करते हैं तो होता है।
Of all the places along the Ganga, Banaras is perhaps the oldest living city in the world. Its present life and ethos go back to the 6th century BC in a continuous tradition. It has transcended millennia because it is vital to the Hindus. Banaras is the city of Shiva, founded at the dawn of creation.
गंगा जी हमारे शिव जी के जटा में हैं। शिव जी हमारे अविनाशी हैं। शिव हमारे कभी खत्म हो ही नहीं सकते। जब शिव खत्म नहीं हो सकते हैं तो गंगा कैसे खत्म होंगी हमारी?
The Ganges at Banaras may appear muddy and dirty, and is the receptacle of all the sewage and waste of the city, the ashes of the dead, and the diseases of the millions who bathe in it. However, what is important is not the bacterial purity of the river, but its ritual and symbolic purity. The Vedic hymns pray to the river Ganges as a purifying goddess who flows to the earth from the locks of Shiva's hair. And as she flows, she absorbs impurities and carries them away. Death in Banaras and cremation at Manikarnika Ghat ensures a visitation from Shiva, who is said to whisper the Taraka mantra in the ear of the dying. This is the ferry boat mantra that ensures the final fording of the river of samsara to moksha, or freedom from the cycle of birth and death.
जो ऐसा क्रॉसिंग पॉइंट है या जो एग्जिस्टेंस और डेथ के बीच में, वो तीर्थ है। तो तीर्थ के लिए एक नदी होना चाहिए, और वो हमारे लिए जो है सुप्रीम है कि गंगा यहाँ पर है, तो काशी पूरा तीर्थ हो गया। उसमें भी कुछ खास घाट होंगे, जो कुछ खास पॉइंट्स होंगे, स्पेशल हो गए। तो गंगा जल, गंगा नदी, गंगा तीर्थ, ये सब साथ साथ चलते हैं।
However, in spite of the overwhelming reverence for the Ganges among millions of Hindus, today a real-life paradox haunts the citizens of Banaras. For how long can they continue to ignore the gap between the ritual purity of the river and its actual level of cleanliness? Today this divide is so wide that combined with global warming and climate change, it's threatening the very life of the river. But what is climate change? And how is it affecting the river? The sun's energy enters the atmosphere and heats up the earth. Some of the heat is radiated back into space in the form of infrared waves. Under normal conditions, a portion of this reflected heat is trapped by the atmosphere. This keeps the Earth's temperature more or less constant. However, with the increase in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere, this balance has been upset. These gases trap more heat, thus leading to a temperature rise on the Earth's surface. Global warming and climate change is caused by increased greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, hydrochlorocarbon, and other gases formed as byproducts from industrial activity and modern technology that help maintain our urban lifestyles. While earlier this was concentrated mostly in Europe, in the last 50 years, Asia and the rest of the world have begun to industrialize. Consequently, greenhouse gases have increased to alarming proportions. Carbon dioxide is the main gas in this group and is produced due to the combustion of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels consist of coal, petroleum, diesel, and natural gas. The carbon in these products reacts with oxygen when burnt and enters the atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide.
With our human activities, whatever excess carbon dioxide we generate, it gets absorbed by the plants, the vegetations and the forests. Now it is exceeding the limit. If you see the pre-industrial era, then the CO2 concentration, the carbon dioxide concentration was about 280 ppm. Now it has already risen to about 375 to 400. It is now presently in that range.
One of the main contributors of carbon dioxide are vehicle emissions. The last 3 decades has seen a geometric increase in vehicle population in India cities.
In 2007, we are roughly about 100 million vehicles on the road. And in about 1977, there were roughly about 3 million. So we have almost grown by 30 times the vehicle population.
While norms have been changed to control emissions, the demand for vehicles is on the increase. So carbon dioxide emissions in the coming years are bound to rise.
The way, the motorization is taking place because of the rapid urbanization process, which is inevitable because India is poised for high economic development, which is the way it should be. The increase is expected to be over the next, say, between 2000 and 2030, which is 30-year time frame, about 9 times. So because of the changing lifestyle, because of higher per capita income, because of easier access to credit market, it is the rate of penetration of private ownership of vehicles is increasing very rapidly, which would definitely have an impact on fossil fuel use, which would essentially lead to higher CO2 emissions.
The other major contributor of carbon emissions is the demand for electricity, since people are demanding a better lifestyle in the cities. With rising temperatures, the demand for high electricity consumption on products like air conditioners and refrigerators has been rapidly going up in recent years.